Hey guys, it's Dawn here. So I'll talk about thrush treatments, and I'm going to try to go as quick as I can. But I do not have a thrush protocol, really, as far as product-wise. So I will refer you to Pete Ramey's. He has hoofrehab.com, and he has write-ups on thrush treatments and white line disease and all that. So I will include those links down below for you to read. I think that is a great source of information. Grab your stuff from him, and you know, he's been doing this for years and I'm just a nobody. Okay, so I'm going to direct you that way. For thrush treatments, basically you have a whole range that's going to be out there. You talk to people and ask people what they do about thrush, and you'll get this huge range. Okay, anywhere from someone like me, I go to the root cause. I will address diet, a proper immune system, sunlight, cleanliness, movement. You see, when they move and they move out, they fling all that dirt and crud out of their hooves. They're self-cleaning if they can get that movement going, and they have enough of it. A healthy immune system should be able to, if you have a tight white line is impenetrable. But you got to have the tight white line. That means the right trim, the right diet, the right hooves, the healthy, clean. So if you can stay on top of that, then you don't have a problem with thrush. Okay, so that's where I'm at. Then you, if you do have a problem with thrush, you can go, you can use stuff like apple cider vinegar, tea tree oil. There's a whole bunch of natural products that are quite effective, okay, against it. Because honestly, sunlight will kill it, right? Sun and dry will kill it. But you got to have access to it. And then there's all these products, shelves are lined, and they're all expensive, right? So it's a lot cheaper to just, what's it? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, something like that. So honestly, it's better to just do the clean, dry movement, diet, because that's whole body health, okay? But there's a whole bunch of products, and I haven't tried them all and stuff. I never had to. You can play around with those. And then there's the caustic stuff that Durasol, bleach, straight betadine, I don't know what other people are using, but that stuff will kill everything. Now, everything is a balance. So if your body is winning and everything is clean and good, you're over here. If you live in a septic tank environment, which is what poopy mud is, poopy mud with urine, poop and mud and urine and blood, and mud, that's septic tank, okay? If they live in a septic tank, then it's going to go more over here. Then, no matter how much products you pour on there, the product itself, even the most caustic, like bleach, okay? You bleach that, it's going to be clean for a sec, and then they're going to keep stepping in that for 24/7. It's not going to be able to overcome all that, so you're still going to have to do something. But but caustic stuff, basically what it does is it kills everything. So it's like you want to be over here in the good, and here's balanced, okay? So anywhere over here is good, and then if the bacteria and fungus infection is winning, it's going over here. Then you get worse and worse and worse problems until you have very serious problems like navicular and laminitis and rotation and stuff, because the hoof is basically just falling apart because the thrush is eating their hoof away from the bottom up. So you keep going like this. When you get too desperate, then sometimes desperate things take desperate measures. Then you can, do whatever it takes to swing it back to balance, okay? So I'm not going to judge, but ideally, those cancer-causing products and caustic stuff, the napalm of the world, try not to have to use the napalm, okay? So Pete Ramey, he's a well-known barefoot trimmer and all that, and he writes all this stuff out, and he has this thing that people are calling Pete's goo, and it's basically Desitin. You can even use Desitin, or it doesn't have to be Desitin. It can be something from Walmart, a no-name brand, okay? What you want to look for is 40% zinc oxide. 40% zinc oxide. You can also look for something that has clometrazole, an antifungal. This is antifungal cream, okay? You can add that if you want. Antibiotic creams. Now that is controversial. Here in the States, we can buy Neosporin antibacterial readily, and we use it on everything, right? But there is a worldwide concern about the bacteria building an immunity, resistance. Antibiotic resistant bacteria, and then they become superbugs, okay? So you don't want to make a superbug. So use those with care. A lot of people are getting results with just an antifungal, with just tea tree oil, with just Desitin. But you can combine all these things into all these fancy formulas and stuff as you like, okay? Copper sulfate. This is 2 pounds of copper sulfate powder from Amazon. You can buy it in a powder form, which is a lot easier. If you buy crystal form, you would just need to mash it up with a mortar and pestle. I don't know how to say those. I've never heard those words said. Mortar and pestle, grind it up or whatever, make it into a powder, or you can just take a shortcut and buy it in the powder form. What you can do, mix the Desitin and mix this. The ratio is on the Pete Ramey thingy. Desitin is just, I haven't used any of this stuff. I just have it ready. It's a diaper cream. It's soft and it's nice and it's whatever. Mix it together. He has a ratio. Just, you can do it to a light blue color, okay? Or whatever. Some people make it stronger or whatever. But mix it all together. If you want to, you can get popsicle sticks from the dollar store. So I have a bunch of those. Dig out a scoop of Desitin, pour a little bit or use a little teaspoon of this, put it into another plastic baggie, mush it all together, push all of that into a corner of the plastic baggie, then cut the corner, fill it up in a plastic syringe. You can get these from Valley Vet Supply. I forget what they're called. They're Luer Lock plastic syringes. You have to buy the tips separate, but it looks like this. And this is nice because it's reusable. You just, oops, I unscrewed it too much. And it comes, oh, here you go. This is a 10 ml APE-Plex syringe. And it comes with extra little thingies because these little thingies will wear out, all right? But it's a nice thick plastic. So you have your goo all mixed up in here. You cut the tip. You squeeze it like you would squeeze out frosting, and you squeeze it out into here, pack it into there, make sure to leave room, and then put this thingy back on. You don't have to take all of this. Well, actually you do, but you didn't have to unscrew this part. I just was going insane. Okay, and then now you can inject. There are different tips that you can get. These tips you can purchase from Amazon. It's a lure lock tip, and you want lure lock, if I'm saying that right. Lure lock means that it screws on. Any syringe that you get, there's usually an option of lure lock or push on or press on. Press on means you just push it on and it just holds by tension. Lure lock means that you screw it on. For something that's going to be so thick like this, you want a lure lock. Otherwise, when you press and it's that thick substance is trying to go through the tip, then it can push the tip right out. This tip is metal. It can be sharp. Be very careful, but it's good to get into crevices. The central sulcus, any deep crevices, you need to get that stuff in. And okay, so these tips come in different sizes. I bought a pack of 12 gauge, but they come in all different sizes as well. You want it to be a big enough gauge that this paste, because it's a pretty thick paste, that this paste is going to be able to get out, but you want it to be small enough that you can get into crevices. And be careful, because this is metal, and if your horse is going to jerk back or something, try not to go straight down and stab into sensitive areas. Instead, if there is a crevice that you want to get into, maybe go at it from the side, and then go at it from the side, and then you can squirt as you pull out like that to just line it. You can use Q-tips, whatever to get in there. Another option, if you don't want this whole thing to worry about all this, is to just get Monoject 412 curved tip plastic disposable syringes. The thing about these work great. You can cut off the tip however large you need this to be. It's plastic, and the only thing is that these do wear out. They break. It's disposable. All right, and with this, once again, if you're going to go into a crevice, maybe not go straight down, just be wary of that tip. Maybe point it upwards, and then tilt as you squirt down, like that. Just be wary that if it's a very deep infection, you're very close to live, if not onto live, and it could be very sensitive and could be very painful, and you don't want to be jabbing more holes and hurting the horse, okay? These are options. Also, if you happen to use some kind of a liquid thrush medication prepackaged, that you don't bother with all this, that when you try to pour it from the bottle, it gets everywhere. So have gloves, disposable gloves, especially if you're going to be using caustic stuff. Have your disposable gloves, but also try sucking it up into one of these and then applying. You'll be able to get straight into where you need to go. You'll have a lot more control, a lot less mess, and a lot less waste. I actually joke with people. I was like, I wonder if they make it difficult to dispense and make it so wasteful so that you would waste it and then have to buy more. I don't know, because all of those, the bottles that they come in don't seem to be very good. So if you get a liquid, and the liquid is great because if it's a very, very thin little crack, bacteria and fungal stuff can get in there. Maybe something thicker might not get in there, but something liquid can definitely seep into there and help you out, okay? So there's that. Now, if you have holes, like in a white line separation, a hole where the thrush has eaten away, or rock had lodged in there, created a deep hole, and once you put that hoof down, it just packs up with more disgusting crud and gets reinfected really easily, you can look into stuff like hoof clay. This one is Life Data Hoof Clay, and it's readily available to us here in Southern California. My local vet supply store has it, and so it's really easy to get. And it's basically just a clay, and then you use it just like you would use putty, Play-Doh, or whatever. You know, just take that, clean out the hole, put your product in, or soak the hoof if you soak. Put your product in if you use the product, and then pack it with the clay. This it has antimicrobials and stuff like that, and basically it will just help strengthen, and you pack it with the clean clay instead of the whole packing with yucky stuff. Now, this one is harder for us to get here, but Red Horse, it's made from Red Horse products in the UK. It's harder for us to get this here, but this is really, really good stuff, all right? It's $50 for this if you're lucky, and it's called Artimud, antifungal hoof clay. And Red Horse, Red Horse products, they have a whole line of thrush and hoof products, and people love them. All right, so here is that clay, and it almost looks like a face mask, like a mud mask that you would use on your face. Smells good. Let's see, it has zinc oxide, bioactive honey, eucalyptus oil, green French clay, and they say remove any debris to be packed and dry thoroughly. Push Artimud into the crack and smooth off. Talc or tissue can be applied to prevent sticking. It's also good for packing into before you put on hoof boots or glue-ons or stuff like that. So let's see, what is this one? This one has active ingredients is iodine, tea tree oil, yucca extract. Inactive ingredients is silicone dioxide and grain extract. Okay, so very different ingredients, but good stuff. Clays for holes. Okay, pack it up. All right, so that's all that I have for Thrush products, and hope that helps. If there are any questions, go ahead and let me know as usual. Otherwise, read up on those articles, and just be sure to stay on top of it, because it's going to set back, if especially if you're rehabbing a horse. If you get this right now, it's winter, so it's wet and everyone is battling it, and it will set back your progress if you're having to battle thrush infection as well. All right, so take thrush seriously. Get good hoof picks that can help you do the job properly, and really stay on top of the cleanliness, because nobody likes living in a septic tank. All right, so there you go. Hope that helps, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.